Okay. It's too complicated. I'm gonna answer this call. Okay. See what we got here. Hello, you're on the air.
Doug?
Close enough. It's Dave. Who's calling?
This is James Taylor Johnston.
Oh, this is James. I'm sorry because I grabbed another line a minute or two ago and I thought it was James Taylor Johnston. So this, I can tell by your voice, is James Taylor Johnston.
Hey, can you hang on a sec?
I'd rather not, but go ahead.
I have to put on my pants. Hang on a sec.
It's already starting off.
All right, man. I'm staying at my daughter's. She's out of town at her one-bedroom timeshare in Tampa with her husband. I'm watering her plants and looking after her hermit crabs, so I got the place to myself.
Wait, it's a timeshare? Oh, so they don't live there full time.
They have a one-bedroom timeshare down in Tampa, and they have a house in Gaithersburg off of I-270 off the Sam Ike Highway, so that's just where I'm staying now.
And Gaithersburg is in Maryland?
Gaithersburg, Maryland, right.
And so you came down there to dry out or what?
Well, that kind of leads into my next point. I want to apologize for last week's behavior. I was spelunking deep within the cups. I was slammered off the bubbly and cheap cooking wine. And I don't remember what I was talking about in a lot of cases. I also have a terrible toot problem. I don't know if I got into that last week.
Your publicist told me all sorts of things, I mean, give credit where credit is due. Your publicist, when she first brought up you coming back, I didn't really want to have you back on, for, obvious reasons. But she talked me into it.
If you catch my snow drift, sometimes the toot makes me say and do things that I regret. So I would want to offer you right now a precious gift, and that would be the gift of forgiveness. I am so damn tired of people like you, the Yaleys, the Harvard grads, the Princetonites, the Stanford peoples. But I'm trying to be more patient. I'm trying to be more welcoming to different types of people. So I thought we could try this once again. And I do want to say this. Last week, I think I was sort of derogatory about Stinker Let's Loose.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding was that you were coming on to promote your book, Stinker Let's Loose, which, by the way, a few listeners have tweeted at me that they bought the book as a result of you having been on the show. So,
yeah,
you tell me.
Well, that's part of what I want to talk about. I want to say that I don't even remember if I got into this. I'm not doing great now, so if you could go out and if you could buy the book, I do get a quarter per purchase. So anything that helps is going to help. So if you can tell your hundreds of listeners, go out and buy this book, even if it brings them $25 for a pizza, I could use that.
Okay, but I just don't know where to. Yeah, but I got to go back. You said you're offering me the gift of forgiveness.
That's right.
Wouldn't you be offering me an apology? Not to,
well,
I don't want to. I feel like
you accept it or you don't. It is a gift of forgiveness. Do you accept it?
Well, what are you forgiving me for? I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, let's cut to the chase. You weren't as nice as you could have been. I was a guest in your household, metaphorically, and I came in and you started treating me a little bit rudely. It was almost as if I came in with animal fecal matter on my jeans, and you started screaming at me right away. I didn't even know I had animal fecal matter on my jeans. I just came in because you invited me in. I thought that I was going to do the best I can, and then you turned it around and you treat me a bit rudely.
I would honestly disagree because your publicist asked for you to, if I would have you on the show via telephone, and I said sure. And then, to promote your new book or the reissue of your old book. And then you came on and, I think, not to simplify it, but you were a big jerk. And a lot of...
That's hurtful, and I don't appreciate you saying that, but I'm going to give you the gift of forgiveness. I do want to talk about some other things. everyone's talking about Stinker Lets Loose. I've been working as a writer, a jobber, a writing hack. Call me a utility guy. I don't care what you call me. I've been making a living, not necessarily a good one, but a living as a writer for more than 30 years. People know me only as the writer of Stinker Lets Loose. I've done a ton of stuff.
Well, yeah, you mentioned some of it. Remind me, I agree. Let's hit reset on this and let's pretend, that none of this stuff happened.
I don't think I got even two because you kept cutting me off last time. But
you did mention a few titles. I'll let you mention. By the way, I'm gonna let you mention your books or whatever. But I'm not an Ivy League elite. I'm not a Harvard or Yale guy. I don't like being thrown into the like I'm some sort of elite guy. I'm a guy from Cleveland.
I earned my BS on the streets. I don't know where you earn yours, Juge, but I'm guessing you went to a top school.
I went to Fordham University. It's a pretty good school.
I never heard of that. Is that good?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, so I did want to make it clear that I've done more than just write Stinker Lets Loose. I've done a ton of stuff.
Okay.
I've done porn parodies. Are you a fan of porn parody?
I'm not. I'm not familiar. What? Can you give me an example?
I'll go through some of the movies. I wrote them down. I was going through old files earlier today, and I think some will ring a bell. Schindler's Tryst. Have you heard of that?
No. Now that would be. What's that about?
Well, it's a porn parody of Schindler's List, but more sexy. 12 Years a Knave. The Squirt Locker.
The Squirt.
The Fast and the Hairless.
The what? What was the last one?
The Fast and the Hairless.
Okay.
Meaty Balls. Slumdog Secret Hair. The Zodiac Driller. And there was a porn parody I wrote on E.T. called BM. So that's just some of the stuff I've done over the years. But that's for movies. I've also done a ton of novelizations, which I was telling you some
of
them.
I'm happy for you to say whatever you like as long as it meets, FCC guidelines. But those sound awful. I think I speak for.
Well,
everybody.
You work within the parameters of what you're given. So if I was given the Zodiac Killer script. I don't know if you saw that movie. So they said make it sexy, make it more pornographic. So I came up with the Zodiac Driller.
Yeah.
I work with him. I'm not a poet. I'm not a famous poet. I work with what I get, and sometimes what I get ain't two crux and a bagel. So this is what I got, and that's what I work with.
Ain't two what?
2 crux and a bagel.
Huh.
But I've done a ton of. Listen, I've written over 200 books.
Okay.
I've done a ton of TV novelizations, and these are big name TV shows. Have you heard of the Brady Bunch?
Sure, of course.
Right. So I wrote the novelization about the one where. Did you ever see that episode where Jan wants to marry a hot tub installer?
I don't remember that one.
How about the Partridge Family?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Have you seen the episode where Danny stabs a frog with a barbecue utensil?
I know. I don't. These aren't real. Okay. Well, anyway, continue.
Barney Miller. You've seen Barney Miller.
Sure.
Do you remember the character Fish?
Sure. Yeah, played by Abe Vigoda.
I don't know. Well, I wrote the novelization where Fish has to attend a cuddle party.
Okay.
I've done a MASH. Have you seen MASH?
Sure. Everyone has.
Right. So this is the episode where Klinger swallows, piece by piece, an entire surgical tent. So that's just some of the stuff I did. But I've also done mainstream movies. I did License to Drive, Mac and Me, Judge Dredd with Stallone, Roller Coaster, Water Flume, Young Einstein with Yahoo Serious.
I remember that.
Yeah.
What happened with Yahoo Serious? It seemed like he was ready to break big in America. He
got killed in a scuba dive accident. He got the bends.
Is that accurate?
Walk Like a Man, I wrote, Harvey Mandel. He was raised by coyotes.
Yeah, that I did not see.
And the Black Annie, the most recent version of Annie. They gave me that novelization, which was not easy, I have to say.
Oh, so you did novelizations of those movies?
Mm-hmm. Krippendorf's Tribe. Jerky Boys.
You did a novelization of the Jerky Boys?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That,
Betwixt, Francis Ford Coppola's movie about the Draculas.
Uh-huh.
Fear.com. All these were books that you've seen, and you saw them probably in airport bookstores, and I wrote those, usually under a pseudonym, but those are all mine. So, listen, I don't want you to think that I'm a one-horse Jim Jack, right, with Stinker Lets Loose.
Right.
I'm a jobber. I've made a career out of writing.
Uh-huh.
So I want you to respect that. I don't want you to talk down to me like you're some sort of Harvard graduate.
Well, as we've discussed, I didn't graduate from Harvard. And, my point is, last week I was trying to help you promote your new book or the reissue of your book, and you were a jerk about it. And now,
if I remember correctly, I was telling you about some of the books I wrote that were the sexy librarian books, and you started laughing.
Well, they had funny titles. I mean, you got to give me that.
They weren't funny. They were sexy.
Well, we agreed to disagree. I don't know.
The Dewey Kissimal System. Too young to borrow, too old to learn. Hang the flesh fine.
Hang the what?
The flesh fine.
Okay.
See, you're laughing again. I don't like being laughed at.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Sure.
Do you have sex?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I figured that, are you a man who loves women or a man who loves men?
I love women.
Okay, good. So I figured if your
what do you mean,
girlfriend
good?
does it, she might have friends who would also willing to do it. And I have to be honest with you. I don't know if I told you last week. I just broke up with my third. It was my third marriage, and I'm a bit randy. So if you do know anyone, if your wife knows anyone who is lonely and happens to be down in Maryland, I would appreciate you giving them my name. Also, I do want to say this. I need the name of your agent.
I can't help you with an agent. I mean, that's.
Please.
I could give you the number of the
I
meeting.
need the name
call
of your
and
agent.
they wouldn't take your call.
Why would they not take my call?
Because
Did you hear what I just told you?
I don't. I mean, it's not how it works. You've been in the industry a long time. It's just not how it works. You can't
Did
just.
I tell you about my great American novel that I've been working on since 1972?
What is it called? I believe you
Pebbles.
did. Pebbles. Yeah.
See, you're laughing again.
I'm
1,200 pages, and I still have 1,000 to go. Why would your agent not want to represent me?
Because, I mean, to be honest, no one's heard of you.
No one's heard of me because I've written under 75 pseudonyms.
Well,
That's why they never heard of me.
Wouldn't it make sense?
Okay, but if I went up to them and said, hey, my name is Jack N. Huey, then they would know who I was. They would say, oh, you're the guy who wrote the E.T. Japanese version of the novelization.
Who is...
Space monkey who falls from the sky and causes havoc. They would know that right away.
I don't know. I disagree. Okay, I'll give you my agent's number.
Okay.
Hang on.
What's his name?
His name is Royal Liquor.
How do you spell Roy L? How do you spell that last name? Roy L. I didn't get the last name.
L-I.
L-I.
Q-U.
Q-U-E-R. Okay. And is he in New York?
He is west of New York.
He's west of in L.A.?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right, I need the number.
Okay, hang on a second.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, the number is... wait just a moment here.
I'm writing on my palm.
816...
816...
474...
Slower. 816-474.
Why'd you say slower if you were able to hear me and write it down?
816-474.
0889.
0889.
Yeah.
Okay, and his name is Roy L. LeClam.
That's right.
And what has he represented you with? I know you've written a few books. I Googled you. You've led a very interesting career. I wouldn't say impressive, but interesting.
Okay. Thank you, I think.
Well, you're welcome. What has he represented? What has he sold for you? Because I don't know if I went into this last week. I'm struggling right now. I'm in a low dip. You know how someone's career has a sawtooth effect? It goes up and then down, and up and then down.
You just told me that things were going well.
I did?
Yeah. I mean, you...
No. What I said was my career has been fabulous, but right now... it just
Okay.
And I'm a little low on dough, which is why I'm watering my daughter's plants and looking after their hermit crabs.
She's charging you? I mean, you're charging her, rather?
No, she's giving me a place to live. Otherwise, I'd be, living behind the Bojangles in Ocean City, Maryland.
That doesn't sound that bad, to be honest. I feel like Bojangles.
Well, it's not that good. And here I have heat, electricity. They have a television, and all I have to do is water her plants and look after their 15 hermit crabs.
15 hermit. What do you have?
15.
What sort of care do you have to give to a hermit? Aren't they sort of a self-sufficient?
Well, you have to spray them with a water bottle each morning.
Okay.
They like to be moist.
I could see that.
They like it hot. So whenever I take a shower, I'll go in there. It's almost like they have croup cough. It's like a kid you bring into the shower, and it has to be like misty and hot. They like that a lot. And they have a special hermit crab food, which I had to go to Frederick to buy, which was not cheap. Just basically dried fish.
Can you back it up a second? You said it's like bringing a kid into the shower?
Did you ever have a kid?
No.
Okay, when a kid has croup cough, you bring them into the shower because the moist, hot air helps their lungs.
Okay. All right.
Haven't you ever watched documentaries?
Not that one.
Okay. Well, that's what you do, and that's what hermit crabs like as well. And they're little. They're not that easy to take care of because a few have died. 3 have died. I started off with 18. They're not down to 15. But what I'm doing is I'm going out there and buying some new hermit crabs and just placing them in the shell of the old ones. It's the old switcheroo. So
You're not going to tell your daughter?
No, I'm not going to tell her that. Oh, she'd kick me right out.
That's awful.
How's she going to know? They're in. All they do is they lump around in these shells anyway. So if it's the same shell, how's she going to know? What do they have personalities? These hermit crabs?
I think the hermit crabs, you would see that it's not the same crab.
You're a naive Nancy, Chooch. No.
What did you call me?
A naive Nancy, Chooch. She will have no idea. Have you never played ball with the law? Where did you grow up? Willy Wonkaville?
What is the siren in the background?
Well, I'm out in the street. I'm in front of the hives off of Rockville Pike.
The what?
The hives off of Rockville Pike. I got hungry as I was talking to you.
Okay. What is Highs, a restaurant?
No, it's a 7-Eleven type place down in Maryland.
I thought you were in Tampa.
My daughter's at her 1-bedroom timeshare in Tampa with her husband. I'm in Gaithersburg, Maryland. But you know what? For a radio host, you don't listen too well.
I'm just trying to keep... you're in... I feel like we're winding up in the same place as before, where now you're getting back to insulting me.
Oh, see, I want to offer you the gift of forgiveness. If you want to apologize for being rude to me earlier and last week, that's fine.
I'm not apologizing to you. You should apologize to me.
Well, you just gave me your agent's number, and that's why I called. And can I use your name?
Yeah.
All right, so it's Roy L. LeClam. Is he French?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. And do you have an email for him?
Yeah, Roy L. LeClam.
Slow down. Roy L. LeClam.
At seamanm.com.
At what?
It's at cmm.com. Listen, I gotta keep moving here.
All right, listen. One last question: do you need writers
on this show?
Yeah.
Arguably.
Can I send you some of my comedy scripts?
Yes, send them to the station.
Okay. Care of you?
Sure.
Okay. Well, Doug, what's your last name?
Dave.
Doug Dave?
Dave Hill is the name.
Dave Hill?
Yeah.
You said earlier your name was Doug.
You said my name was Doug.
Dave, can I call you next week?
Please, yeah. I imagine I'm going to be hearing from your publicist again.
All right, and also, if you do have sex and with your wife or your girlfriend, please have them, if they know of other women who have sex, if you could just give them my email, I'll give it to you right now. Or should I do that off the air or on the air?
Do it off air.
Okay. All right, I'll talk to your producer.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, Dave.
All right, thanks,
I'll talk with you
James.
next week.
What a jerk. 201-209-9368. James Taylor Johnston. I don't know.